No other campaigns matter now. Reformation just won the game. They won the game. This is incredible. I have no words for how brilliant a campaign this is. This was the post they put up 5 days ago, teasing a little help from a friend in their new campaign. Are you guys ready for this? I don't even know if I was ready for this. Monica flipping Lewinsky.
There's a pretty big ad campaign out there. It features a clothing brand that I particularly like, although the very obvious ad campaigning that's happening in the media is kind of annoying, but it's Reformation that has done this collaboration with Vote.org, and they have used Monica Lewinsky in their ad campaign. And as a result, some young Americans are learning about Lewinsky for the first time, and they allegedly see her as an icon based on reporters who are doing sponsored print articles that find a TikTok video here or there and pretend like there's a big trend of young people who are falling over themselves in admiration for Monica Lewinsky. That's really what this story is. And it's annoying. So with that said, on Tuesday, Reformation dropped their new workwear line called You've Got the Power in collaboration with Vote.org. Let's take a look at the graphic. So intended to encourage people to vote in the 2024 presidential election. Is it? The campaign stars former White House intern Monica Lewinsky. Lewinsky rose to fame back in the 1990s after she had an affair as an intern with Bill Clinton. She was Bill Clinton's intern. Serious power imbalance there. And so what happened to her, and more importantly, how she was treated after that affair became public was absolutely disgusting. It was disgraceful. The way that she was interviewed in the press about it by someone who I had admired, Barbara Walters, absolutely disgusting and disgraceful. So I have a lot of sympathy for Monica Lewinsky and what she went through in a very, very public way. With that said, this clear campaign for Reformation clothing, that's what this is really about, annoys me because they're like, it's shrouded in a bunch of BS. So this is the kind of BS I'm talking about. I'm gonna skip ahead to the Vote.org CEO, Andrea Haley. She says that Lewinsky's presence in this campaign ad for Reformation is gonna have a huge impact on young voters. This is what she says. We're grateful to Reformation and Monica for using their platforms to support Vote.org's work to ensure that young people and underrepresented communities of color can overcome the barriers to the ballot box and vote in this critical 2024 election. How? Like, Monica Lewinsky is featured in an ad campaign for Reformation. How exactly is this gonna help increase the vote among young people? But more importantly, like, it's just, I just feel like there's like a boilerplate thing that they just use in every campaign. Wait, we gotta put underrepresented communities of color in the messaging somehow, even though none of what we're doing has any impact on what we claim it's gonna have an impact on. Am I weirdly annoyed by this? Like, it's just so obvious to me that this is nothing more than a stupid ad, and everyone's like pretending like it's more than that. It's not more than that. It's nothing other than an ad for Reformation clothing. That's it.
We might have millions of people watching this show, but you can be the difference maker because we just need 1% of our audience to be paid members, and then this show can be around forever. So you can make that difference. Click join now. What are we supposed to vote for? Like, okay, but look, I have a slight difference than Anna on this. So first I'm gonna talk about Monica Lewinsky. So for those of you who weren't around, and I realized as soon as this story came in, I'm like, wow. Like instantly I thought, oh yeah, Gen Z probably has no idea who she is.
I was a baby when it happened. Not literally a baby, but I was a child. I think I was in elementary school.
Oh my God, that's depressing. Okay, so back then, obviously she had an affair with Bill Clinton, or Bill Clinton had an affair with her. Yes, obviously she was an intern. He was the president of the United States of America. Now pause, Democrats, and imagine if Donald Trump had done that.
Oh, we know what the reaction would be. We know.
All right. Yeah. So now, nevertheless, back then I was a Republican, but as always, I was actually principled and honest, and I thought Clinton should not have been impeached. It might have been a terrible thing that he did, but it was personal, and it had nothing to do with the crime or misdemeanor. It was total garbage impeachment, and I said it clearly back then. Having said that, what the Clintons did to Monica Lewinsky was unspeakable, and they've never been held to account for it.
100%.
They viciously lied about her
100%.
and made her sound like she was a nut job who had lost her mind. And they both knew, both Bill and Hillary Clinton knew that Bill Clinton had slept with her. And they smeared the hell out of that innocent civilian that Bill Clinton had already had sex with, and then had the indecency to try to ruin her life. So those are the people who the Clintons are. The Clintons are terrible human beings. I know in DC they think Henry Kissinger is lovely, the Clintons are lovely. You know why? Because the people in DC are immoral. So now we turn to the pop culture today. The second thing I thought, the minute I saw the Monica Lewinsky story was, oh, Gen Z and millennials are gonna love her. They're gonna call her queen, right? Because she was the victim in a lot of, in every way I think that you can imagine. I mean, she made a volitional choice and she was an adult, right? But the way that they smeared her, both the Republicans, Democrats, everyone involved was just awful to her, and she withstood that. And this day and age, she'd be considered a hero. Back then, just seeing people rip her apart was unreal, and it was, again, as always, a gaslighting torture chamber, as if she was the one at fault, right? And so I'm not surprised at all. And the marketers here, to be fair to them, brilliant.
Really?
Absolutely. Attention grabbing?
Obvious.
No, not at all obvious.
It's like the most obvious.
No way. Most people that see this, they're gonna think Queen, Slayer, etc. They're not gonna have any idea that this isn't about voting. I mean, that's not fair to say they're not gonna have any idea. A lot of people know, right? A majority of people, they get it. It's marketing, right? But it's effective marketing.
Cenk, what evidence do you have that young women on TikTok are looking at Monica Lewinsky right now and losing their minds? That there's like this giant trend of young people.
I don't have evidence.
Because there is no evidence. This is the journalists, reporters, whatever, people who work in print, they're doing the same thing with TikTok that they had been doing with Twitter. And I'm gonna put a stop to it right away in the minds of our audience, okay? Just because a reporter goes through social media, a social media platform, and cherry picks a video or two that says something that goes along with whatever narrative they're looking for their piece, doesn't mean that there's a trend of young people losing their minds over Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, so I want to be clear about those two things. Number one, I'm saying it as a prediction. I'm not saying like, oh, I've got the data on it. I want to be super clear about that. My guess is that people will react well to this for good reasons, because she was this victim in a time where no one cared about victims, right? And so, but I'm guessing. And it has gotten a lot of attention. A lot of it is coordinated attention, a part of a marketing campaign. But it is effectively getting out there, and they do this brilliantly. And look, if you're gonna push voting as the part of your campaign, well, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's a company doing a good thing. I don't want to say, oh, it's terrible. It's a perfectly good message, right? But I do want to tell you about how reporters cherry pick, to the point that Anna made, because it's absolutely right.
Before you do, I have to jump in, because you want to give Reformation credit for this campaign and trying to get people to vote. It's better that they're doing something positive instead of negative. I hear you. But if they want to do something good for Americans, they should go back to what they used to do, which was manufacture their garments here in America with American workers who make at least a decent wage. That's what Reformation used to do. I used to shop at Reformation. Their dresses are not cheap, pretty expensive dresses. But they went from advertising their Made America, branding, to all of a sudden, without a peep, and I didn't notice this until like a year and a half ago. I looked at the tag on the dress, made in China. No, but I started shopping at Reformation, and I ate the high cost of buying their dresses because I wanted to support American workers. What happened?
Yeah, so that's a different issue, but
it is. But if you want to do something to get kudos from me on this show, go back to paying American workers to make your garments.
So on the cherry picking point that Anna made, if you don't know this, the way that the journalists play this game is they pretend to be objective. So they are saying, I'm not saying that I'm in favor of this or that. So what they do is they go find people who will say it for them. Those are the quotes in the story. But if they get quotes that don't match the story they want to tell, they discard them, they don't use them. So they cherry pick only the quotes that they want. And we've shown you this in very serious political articles where mainstream media will want to say, a certain agenda, and they will ignore overwhelming quotes, evidence, facts, stats on the other side, and only present the cherry picked quotes and evidence. And I know journalists and reporters who do this and say, well, of course that's what we're doing. And it's happened to me, it's happened to people I know, where they'll give a quote and go, okay, are you gonna print that? And they'll say, no, it doesn't fit our narrative. Okay, then why don't you just admit it? You're either biased or you're helping them to do a marketing campaign. Maybe they're an advertiser of yours, etc. But they're never going to be honest with you. So when people get frustrated at mainstream media, that is among the things that they get frustrated at. They pervert reality.
Yep.
And then pretend that that it's outrageous to call them out on it. They declare their bias, their perspective, and sometimes their financial perspective to be objective.
Let's go to one of the cherry-picked videos featuring a TikToker, Emily Carmelli, who explains the specific reasoning Reformation went with Lewinsky for this campaign.
This to me is an example of strong brand marketing. It goes beyond your classic celebrity Hailey Bieber spokesperson opportunity. It's a true partnership that gives the brand clout beyond celebrity appeal and really makes you think. There's obviously the subtle nod to politics inherent in Monica Lewinsky's name, which makes sense since this is a campaign focused on voting, but it's not in the cheeky way you might think or just lazily associate her name with. Instead, the association comes from the theme of empowerment and using voting as a tool to feel empowered. And who's had a better empowerment, redemption, taking ownership of your own past story arc than Monica Lewinsky? All while looking like this, no less. I mean, she literally looks like a supermodel. Lauren Cohen, the chief creative officer of Reformation, said Monica's been empowering women to use their voices and feel powerful for a long time. So it makes sense that she would help Reformation do the same. I'm just obsessed. Monica Lewinsky really had her redemption arc during the Me Too era. This is really her stepping into her icon era outside of her past at age 50.
I don't want to be cruel, so I'm gonna let you take it, Cenk.
Yeah, so money corrupts everything around us because TikTok used to be pure for a minute. Then marketers realized the strength and power of the virality of TikTok. So they then started paying off influencers. And so we told you a story a couple of days ago about how what was it? They are paying influencers that are for dieting.
Yes, so marketers for Ozempic and Ozempic-like drugs are paying. They're called fat acceptance influencers. That's how they refer to themselves. And they're paying them to be affiliates where they literally do advertising on their platforms.
For weight loss.
Yeah.
The people who say you should accept your weight are now, because they took money, telling you you've got to lose weight through this product.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so I give that as an example. So I don't know these particular folks at all, so I'm not saying anything about them. I'm just saying now, you go on TikTok, you have no idea who's being paid and who's not being paid. Do I have any idea that that's her genuine opinion or if she's part of this marketing campaign? I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. She says in that video that this is not an example of like one of those like cheap stunts that really has nothing to do with the message that they're claiming they're trying to send. Like in this case, it would be encouraging people to vote. She's specifically talked about like other celebrities who have been used in like marketing campaigns just to attach like a celebrity name to a mission or to something they want to get done. But how is this any different?
How does
Monica Lewinsky empower anyone? Like, look, you might be, if you do feel empowered by Monica Lewinsky, great, but explain to me where the empowerment comes. Where does it come from?
So look, they can make the argument she's trying to take her life back, etc. And God bless, I want Monica Lewinsky to be empowered. I support her 100%, etc.
Me too. It's not about her. But
yeah, 100%. But but why does that empower you? All right, maybe it does in some way. I'm actually more forgiving of that. But this motivates you to vote, does it? No,
how does this work exactly? Like I'm trying to understand. They're trying to sell it to us. So do a better job explaining exactly how this would work. How would looking at images of Monica Lewinsky looking beautiful, how would that empower me? And then that would translate into me feeling so empowered that I'm gonna go vote.
About like, not only is there no logical connection there, guys, it's actually deeply ironic because what is Monica Lewinsky known for? She's known for both parties being despicable to her. The Republicans used her as a tactic to try to end Bill Clinton's career, and they're the ones who outed her and who shamed her when they did terrible things. And then the Democrats smeared her and pretended she was a liar and a mental patient, etc. And like vote for the two monsters that destroyed Monica Lewinsky's life.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. I didn't even think about it that way, but you're absolutely right. Vote for what? Which party? Which politician? By the way, I mean, okay, let's put it in the context of this upcoming general election, assuming, for good reason, that the two candidates will be Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Anybody watch the videos of the Anita Hill hearings, of which, of course, Joe Biden was leading?
Yeah.
The disgusting way he treated her during those hearings.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to vote for that guy? Is that the guy I'm supposed to vote for? Is that the guy who's supposed to make me feel so empowered that I'm gonna vote for him?
Did you know that Joe Biden?
And obviously Donald Trump, I mean, that needs no explanation, right? I mean,
So Donald Trump, all of his crimes, literal crimes, and all the terrible things he's done, you probably know. You might believe it, you might not believe it, but they're out in the public. Did you know that Joe Biden would not allow Anita Hill to have witnesses on her side? Even though he was the Democratic chair of that committee. He was pretending to be on Anita Hill's side while he was secretly torpedoing her and humiliating her by not showing corroborating witnesses.
Oh, so gross. I remember going back and watching the entirety of that hearing for a story that I was producing, and I wanted to do my due diligence and watch that hearing. And it was awful. And look, I understand that we have different standards today. And if you go back and see the way the culture was back in the day, it was very different and it was awful and it was particularly heinous toward women who had allegations of sexual assault or sexual harassment. But I can't stand the whitewashing of the bad behavior that these career politicians have engaged in the entirety of their careers.
Yeah, and they do it all the time for Joe Biden. So he lied about getting arrested with Nelson Mandela. What an outrageous lie during apartheid. What an outrageous lie. And the media covered it up and said it's illegitimate to talk about. Why? If Donald Trump had done that lie, we'd never stop talking about it. It doesn't mean you should stop talking about Trump. It means you should be honest about both parties. But now, because of Reformation, I'm gonna go enthusiastically vote for the fascist or the liar. Thank you, we appreciate it. This really worked.
By the way, I'm sure the child labor in China feels real empowered making the garments for Reformation.